Welcome back to Futurum Research's Top 10 Trends Driving Digital Transformation for 2017. We are on to the 8th trend, which is Internet of Things, and how this particular movement is going to drive the future of so many companies' transformations. If you haven't heard about Internet of Things, you just need to turn over any rock and you will find it as part of the discussion. The things are all these devices, from wearable technology to sensors that are inside of trucks and stores, to cameras, to every device that sits on the edge that's basically collecting data and reporting it back to companies for their utilization. If marketing and personalization is the goal of companies, then the Internet of Things is going to become the #1 way that we can collect data from our customers to create the most uniquely personalized experiences, gather more information, and utilizing data to improve our company's performances. So right now, a lot of the data we get, we're dependent on users creating information, creating content, whether that's inside of applications that businesses are using or just the way we use the internet. And with all that data, we're able to make offers, create compelling information that we can share and email, and get in front of customers and decide what content we're going to display for people. Well, with the Internet of Things, what we're basically able to do now is capture people's experiences offline. And that can be through a wearable shirt that we can take to the gym that can sense heat and can sense our body's temperatures and can sense our activity, movement, and calories. And that information can then be reported back to Under Armour, so they have a better idea of how people are using their shirts to work out and what success looks like and what it doesn't look like at a very individualized level, so they can offer them more deals, discounts, or information that'll help them further their performance working out. These sensors can also live inside the back of a big rig truck that's carrying appliances from one side of the country to the other. It can look at exactly how those appliances were positioned in the truck, any movement that they had, any impact that those movements have on future defects. And that stuff can be studied over a long period of time, which is incredibly powerful, because right now there was no way that we could gather the information of a new piece of equipment from the time it hits the dock here in the United States all the way to the time it ends up in someone's home. And then that data can continue to be collected inside of that person's home to understand exactly how someone's using that device. That is so powerful. The Internet of Things, we're looking at more than 50 billion devices going online by 2030, and that's on more than 200 billion things. All these sensors, all this information, all these things are basically going to become the core of us being able to collect data of everything that people do all day long, from the time they roll out of bed to the time they go to sleep at night. This is our online lives and this is our offline lives, and thanks to sensors and data that is being collected with the Internet of Things, we are going to have better looks and better insights into everyone, every business, every company. And while this seems a little bit scary, it's incredibly powerful. It's powerful for marketers, it's powerful for companies, and for companies that are looking to transform. Building infrastructure around the Internet of Things is going to be critical to your long-term business success. And this is why it's one of the top 10 trends driving digital transformation for 2017.